I'm Alison Whitlock, and today I'm with the group The Trendsetters from Los Angeles, California. We are making some really simple scarves today, and this one I absolutely love. It's called the Twirled Edge Scarf, and this one is so simple, we're going to rate it E for easy. Now, Barry, tell me about the yarn, because this is just stunning. You wouldn't imagine that looking at this little skein of yarn that all of these colors are inside.
No, it's what we call a surprise yarn, because the way that they dye the yarn or spin the yarn is it changes colors all on its own.
I love it.
And you wouldn't think all these colors would go, but they do.
They do. It's hot. Now, show me how we're going to start. Obviously, you need a chain to begin with.
Absolutely. So we're going to start with the easiest beginning, and that's just a slip knot. So wrap the yarn over our fingers. We pull through a loop, and we take our crochet hook. With this yarn, I'm using a G crochet hook, and we're just going to do a simple chain stitch. And to do that, we wrap the yarn over the mouth of the hook and pull it through. And for what we're doing today, you're going to chain approximately 15 or 16 stitches.
And that's the great thing about your chain, because once you chain across, you can pretty much gauge how wide your scarf will be. So if you feel like you want it to be extra thick, just go ahead and chain some more.
Exactly. And once you're at the end of the row, what you need to do is get one base row on before you do any of the twirls.
So if we have a look at our finished scarf here, you can see that our chain started right across here, and if you bring that in, Barry, we can...
Exactly. It's just your beginning chain, and it's approximately the same width as what we've done already.
Okay, so we're going to work across in one row. Is it single crochet?
It is single crochet.
All the way across, and once you get to the end of that row, we can start to make the twirls.
Exactly.
But Barry, show me the single crochet.
Okay, to do a single crochet, we take our crochet hook, and we go into the center of the V.
In the second chain from your hook.
Exactly. Wrap the yarn over the hook and pull it through. And what we have now are 2 stitches on the crochet hook. Wrap the yarn over the mouth of the hook and pull it through both. So it's similar to a chain, but you're pulling up 1 extra stitch first.
That's right, because essentially when you're crocheting, you're making your own fabric. And with the single crochet, it's quite dense. There's not a lot of holes, not a lot of loops, so it gives you a great look when you're working with lots of different colors.
Exactly, and we're at the end of our row.
Okay.
And to do the twirl, just like we did our beginning crochet chain, we're going to add 5 extra chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And that's what will be the twirl. Just as we did at the beginning, we need 1 extra stitch that helps us turn. And now into each of our chains, starting into the second one, we're going to do 2 single crochets, just as we did on our first row.
Normally you'd work 1 single crochet into each chain, but now we're doing 2 into the same chain, and that's going to help to increase and create the spiral. It's going to wrap around itself.
Right, and you can see just I've done 2 stitches, and already it's starting to curl. So for the first 5, we're going to put 2 in each. There's 1, 2. And if you want longer twirls,
just chain out for a further distance.
Exactly. In this case, we did 5, but you can do 10, 20, as many as you like. And there's our 5, and you can see it's twirling.
Really cute.
And now that you've come to that part, now you start continuing across.
So you start to go into the top of the single crochet row that you just finished.
Exactly. So here's our single crochet row. And what we see is the stitch sitting right at the top. And if you put your crochet hook in, you'll see a V.
That's right.
And the V represents the stitch. And we just want to pick up the whole stitch, wrap the yarn over, and continue. And the process just repeats.
So Barry, now we have one that you've worked up for quite a few rows, and you can really start to see that pattern emerging. Now show me how you do one more spiral so we can see how they work on top of each other.
Once again, we're at the end of the row. We started with a twirl, got to the end, and we're going to give ourselves 5 chains. So we've got our chains, and we're going to put 2 in each one. So there's 1 single crochet, and there's 2. And again, the process is just all the same. Pick up a stitch, yarn over the mouth of the hook. So we've picked up 1, wrapped it, and pulled it through. And that's 2 single crochets in each one. And we do that for the first 5.
And then continue across the top of your row just with straight single crochet.
Exactly.
Well, we're not obviously going to spend the whole evening finishing off this one, but what I would like you to do is show me how you work in your tails. Because once you get to the end, at the top and bottom, there is only 1 tail, which I do love.
Right. When you run out at the very top, try and end at the end of a row, right before you do a twirl. And all you would do is take your yarn, break it, pull it out, and lock it. Give your tail a little pull. And then I like using these gold sewing needles. They're really neat. They've got a nice big eye and a little curve. And it's also easy because you don't have to strain your eyes trying to thread it.
Yeah.
And so you thread it, and all I do is take my needle, and with the little curve, it picks the stitch. I take it, and I weave it over under, in and out of my original chain stitches. For a few of them, I just take it and give it a little pull.
And then you can snip it off.
Right.
And you always want to weave horizontally with a yarn like this. If you were to weave up vertically, which sometimes we like to do, you would actually see it because it would cross through all those colours.
Right, here you want to keep in matching colors.
And then after a night or so, depending on how fast your crocheting is, you'll have something as fabulous as this. And I think it's just gorgeous.
But I want to
Really
see
cool.
this on. How about
I
you put
do
it on
too.
for me?
And you know what I love about it is that it really goes with everything. So there we go.
Right. And if I were going to make it for myself, I would do it in one of the more earthy colors, the dark browns and the grays, to wear with black slacks.
Well, I think it's fabulous. I feel fabulous in
You
it.
look fabulous.
Thank you.
A pleasure.
Good job.